So welcome back. You must have put your bot together, and now you're ready for the electronics. My video here is going to cover both of these. Okay, these are both obstacle avoiding robots. One is tracked with a track system. The other one is four-wheel drive, has the four wheels. But they both have four motors. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you here is how to put all your electronics together. First thing you need to determine is where you're going to place them. I'm going to show you an example of how I placed them on both of them. So you make sure that your sensor is on the front. Okay, this is the front of the vehicle here, and on this top level, which is the longest piece you got, right behind that sensor is my motor shield. Okay, and then if you see, right underneath is the Arduino. Right behind it is the Arduino. If I turn it around this way, you can notice that the 9-volt battery sits underneath there, and it's plugged into the Arduino. And then I have the 10-pack AA battery pack sitting on top. Okay, that's one example. The other example in this one, pretty much the same. I have the sensor on the front, motor shield right behind it, but in this case I put the Arduino all the way to the left, and then the 9-volt battery pack right next to it. And again, your AA is still on top. Okay, I run all the wires from underneath, from the motors underneath, because they actually get connected into the motor shield. Okay, so they come up from underneath and then get connected in there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. First thing you're gonna connect is gonna be your SG90 servo. Okay, the SG90 servo cables are orange, red, and brown. All right, those are the colors that you have to go by on this video, because what I did is I gave you an extension here because the connectors on the Arduino are female connectors, so these gotta be male. For the exception of the red one, which is the 5-volt one, is going to be inserted in the 5-volt on the Arduino. Okay, these are your powers connectors. You got your VIN, grounds, 5-volt, 3.3, so on and so forth. The first thing you do is take your brown, follow that brown up, and it matches with the blue, and that brown is going to go on ground. So you're going to plug it into ground. Okay, next one is your red. Follow that red up, and it matches with the white. Okay, what I did with the white in this case is I took off that male connector and I left just the wire, the bare wire. You're going to take that and you're going to insert it in to the 5-volt. Just sit it in there and let it just sit there for now. Okay, just stick it in and let it sit for now. The last one in the SG90 servo is orange. The orange gets connected on the 5-pin, number 5 pin. Okay, or pin number 5. So you follow on the Arduino your digital PWM portion of it. Number 5 sits right on the third from the top. So you have 7, 6, and 5. You connect the orange one. If you follow it up, it's this one. You put that one on number 5. Okay, just 1, 2, 3, number 5, and that's how I would sit. Okay, all right, next part is your ultrasonic sensor. The ultrasonic sensor is this one here. Okay, the ultrasonic sensor, I'm going to give you enough cables just so you know where you're going to plug the female end on each one of these. Okay, you have ground. You have ground here, and it says it on the board itself. And then you follow the next one. You have echo, you have trig, TRIG, and then you have VCC. So you have 4 of them. And right, I don't know if you can see it, but right under there you can see the lettering. Okay, the first one is VCC. I'm sorry, ground, echo, trig, and then VCC. All right, you're gonna take VCC, which is the first one here, and you're gonna connect that to the 5-volt. Remember, you have that one white one that came from the from the servo that was sitting in there, and I told you just leave it sitting in there. Well, you're gonna take that VCC that comes out, the male one that comes out, and you're gonna insert it in there. So that when you insert it into the hole, it actually pinches the other one on. Okay, so that they don't come out. See that? So now you have two wires going into the 5-volt of the Arduino, and you're gonna leave it like that. The next one is your trig, a TRIG. That wire gets connected to A1. Okay, here's your reference. TRIG to A1 on the Arduino. Here's A1. A1 is on the side, on the same side as your power unit. It's all your analog ins. So you got A0, or A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. So your trig goes to A1. And then your next one you have is your echo. Okay, the echo is the next one over. That goes to A0. And the last one is your ground. Your ground, of course, goes to ground. Your ground is right next to the 5-volt. Your ground is right next to the 5-volt. Okay, so here we go again. SG90 servo, your brown goes to the ground, your red goes to 5-volt on the Arduino, okay, and the orange goes to pin 5. On your ultrasonic sensor, your VCC goes to 5-volt on the Arduino, and it actually pinches the red one from the SG90 servo. So these two go together. On the ultrasonic sensor, your ground goes to ground, your echo goes to A0, and your trig goes to A1 on the Arduino. Okay, pretty simple, right? Now the next part of it is your motor shield. On your motor shield, you have IN1, IN2, IN3, and IN4, and you're going to receive 4 cables, female on one end and male on the other. All right, IN1, if you follow that, is the orange one on this one. IN1 goes to pin 11, pin 11 on your digital part. Okay, so here's pin 11. You got 13, 12, and 11. Take it and insert it on pin 11. Okay. The next one is IN2. IN2. IN2 goes on pin 10, which is right next to 11. Pin 10. Right next to 11 there. And you have IN3. IN3 goes on pin 9. Right here, pin 9. Next one is IN4. IN4 goes to pin 6. Pin 6 is on your PWM side, but it's right behind 7, so you got 7 and 6. Okay. Now, to recap that, on your L298N motor shield, you're going to connect IN1 to pin 11, IN2 to pin 10, IN3 to pin 9, and IN4 to pin 6. Now we'll connect the motors themselves. You got wires coming from the right side wheels, and you got wires going from the left side of the wheel. You're going to take both positives on the right side and connect them together. So you're going to connect both negatives and also connect those together. So your positives and your negatives on the right side go on the A slot. Okay, the A slot on the motor shield is right here. Okay, this is your motor A. Okay, and then you have motor B on this side. Of course, that's your left side. So both of the positives on the right side wheels, both of them are going to get connected on the left side here on the second one from the end. This is your positive. Both of the negatives on the right side wheels are going to connect here. So you're just going to unscrew this, push the two cables inside. Once the two cables are inside, you're going to lock it down. Again, this is your negative side and this is your positive. Take your two positive on the right side wheels, push them inside there, inside that little housing there, and then tighten it up. Make sure they're nice and snug and they won't come out. Alright, you're going to do the same thing with your left wheel. Your left wheel goes on motor slot B or motor B. Both of your positives are going to go on the left side, and both of your negatives for the left wheels are going to go on the second one. Okay, so remember the two wheels on the right, both positives go on the second one from the end, both negatives go on the first one for the right side motors, motor A, and both positives of the left motors go on the first one here, and both positive and then both negatives. Okay, positive, negative. And then to recap that, motors, the right motors go on A slot, left motors go on B slot. Okay, and the last thing you have to connect is your battery packs. Your battery pack, you get two of them. You're gonna have one that utilizes 10 double A's. Okay, so you connect your 10 double A's here, and once you have those 10 double A's inserted, you can go ahead and connect the positive to VMS. So unscrew it and put your positive in there. Once you got that positive in there, you can screw it down. Then you take your ground or your black wire and put it on the center right here. Unscrew this, insert the black one, and screw it in. You want to make sure that you screw it in nice and snug so they won't come out. Okay, just like that. And the last one is your 9 volt battery pack. Insert your 9-volt battery there, close this up, and then your 9-volt battery pack has a switch, on and off switch here, off, on, and that will be connected on the Arduino, just like that. Okay, now recap that. You got your AA pack, goes the L298 board, the positive goes on VMS, and your negative goes on ground. So your red on VMS, your black on ground. Your 9-volt battery pack goes plugged into the Arduino. Alright, now just so that you can have a quick refresher, the SG90 servo, remember the wires that come from the servo, not the extensions, are the ones that you have to go by. The brown one goes to ground, the red one goes to 5 volt on the Arduino, and the orange one goes to pin 5. Now on the SG90, the extensions, the red one is going to be inserted into the 5 volt on the Arduino, and when you get ready to install your ultrasonic sensor, you're going to take the VCC line and plug it on the 5 volt of the Arduino, pinching the red one. The next one on the ultrasonic sensor is your ground. Your ground goes to ground on the Arduino. Your echo goes to A0 on the Arduino. Your trig goes to A1 on the Arduino. Next one is your L298N board, your motor board. IN 1 goes to pin 11. IN 2 goes to pin 10. IN 3 goes to pin 9. IN 4 goes to pin 6. And your motors, your right motors go to A slot, and your left motors go to B slot. Both positive go together and both negatives go together on the same side wheels. Okay, and then the last is your battery pack. Your AA battery pack goes on the L29AN board. Your your red line goes to VMS, which is your positive. Your black line is your negative, goes to ground. And your 9-volt pack goes plugged into the Arduino. Okay, and once you get that done, you just find a good place to put it, like I showed you on my examples here. Probably the best thing to do is figure out how you want to place it on there before you start plugging everything in. But anyway, good luck and enjoy it. I know you're gonna have tons of fun with it. Make sure you keep fresh batteries inserted, and then play with it in a big area. You'll enjoy it. All right, any questions, just text me or contact me, however you want.